you're coming to Madeira and you're still in the planning stage, maybe you're trying to create the perfect itinerary for Madeira, one that will allow you to maximize your time, enabling you to see a lot, do a lot, and eat the best food Madeira Island has to offer, then don't worry, I have you covered. Because today I'm going to give you a day-by-day itinerary for you to make the most of your time in Madeira, Europe's best island destination. Because some things are worth doing and some things are not. And I'm JoeyP, by the way. I've been visiting Madeira for 8 years and I've been living here for 3. So I think I'm qualified to give you what I think is the perfect Madeira itinerary. And I'll try and give you as many tips as I can along the way. So let's get started. All right, day 1, and that is arrival day in the beautiful island of Madeira. So welcome, you're going to arrive at Cristiano Ronaldo Airport, and there's a few ways to get from the airport to where you're staying. So I'm going to give you 3. The first one is what I definitely recommend, and especially if you want to maximize this itinerary, is hire a car. And there's a company I think are the best on the island for it. It's called Blitz Rent. All of the information is in the description, and you can get a discount, 5% discount if you quote the channel name, JoeyP. It's run by a local guy. He's so friendly, and the company is fantastic. I mean, just check the reviews for a start. But they're not going to scam you. They're not going to give you dodgy things. They're not going to come up with excuses for why they can't give your deposit back. They're just a fantastic company. It's the company I use, and therefore it's the company that I recommend. The other way to get to your place will be taxi. Do not take one of the yellow taxis that sits outside of the airport. Bolt and Uber are cheap. Download these apps on your phone, even if you've never used them before. Put your card on there and use these. They're 3 to 4 times cheaper than the yellow taxis. Yes, you might have to wait 5 minutes for it to turn up, but I promise you, you want to keep that money for the food and for the poncha. The final way, and one which I don't recommend because it doesn't take you directly to where you're going, is the airport bus. Now it's good and it's not that expensive, but you have to wait for it. You're crammed on it, and then it's going to drop you at one of the stops. It's not going to drop you outside of your hotel. The other point I want to make on day 1 is where to base yourself. Now my recommendation is you base yourself in Funchal. It's where the cafes are, it's where the bars are, it's where the restaurants are, it's where a lot of the tours start. It's nice to walk out on an evening. It's just a very charming city. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and it's a great base. So get a hotel there or get an apartment there, get the hire car, as I say, and use it as a base to explore the island. So what do you do on your first day? Well, I tend to find that the flights arrive in 2 waves, I guess. You either arrive late morning or afternoon, or you arrive later in the evening. If you arrive early, check into your hotel, relax. You're on holiday, right? You want to enjoy yourself, and it's going to be a busy week. So just relax, go for a stroll, have a beer, have a poncha, the local drink, or a glass of wine, and then find something to eat. Just relax, because the next few days are going to be busy, let me tell you that. If you have the time or the energy on day 1, I recommend going for dinner at Lido's Tavern. Not only will you try my favorite poncha on Madeira, and you need to try poncha on Madeira, this one is number 1 without a doubt. They also do steak sandwiches, pregos, which is again, a must try. So they're fantastic for that, and they're fantastic for poncha. But don't have too many, because you need an early night, because you're going to be up for a very busy day tomorrow, your first full day in Madeira. If you arrive in the evening, obviously check into your hotel, get a good night's sleep, because tomorrow, day 2, you're going to be up early. Day 2, your first proper day in Madeira. So it's going to be busy, and all of these days you're going to need to get up early, and they're going to seem very busy. But trust me, I've done it. I've done it with everyone who has come over with me. It's tiring, but it's amazing. And if you want to maximize your time here, do the best things, see the best things, eat the best things, this is what you want to do. Today, we're going to explore Funchal, and the first place we're going to go is just above the city to an area called Mont. Now, you might have heard of this before. You can get there on the cable car, and you can do the toboggans at the top. Toboggans is one of the most popular things in Madeira, but I'm going to tell you something about that in a second, because what I recommend is you don't take the cable car up, the queues can be horrible, 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 and you spend half your morning waiting to go on the cable car. So my tip is take a taxi, again, an Uber or a Bolt, depends which one's cheaper, check them both, it won't be that expensive, maybe just €4 to €5, and take that up to Mont. Take it to the top cable car station. It's a very easy place to find. The first thing you want to do is go into the Monte Palace Gardens. Beautiful, beautiful gardens. And trust me, one of my favorite things to do in Madeira, but you'll have the benefit of being there early, so you'll pretty much have it all to yourself. Walk around the gardens, it does take some time. You can go all the way down to the bottom, and then what I would do is pay for the buggy to take you back up to the top. Once you've done that, it's kind of up to you. There's cafes up there. There's a nice little church up there which you can go and visit and have nice views over Funchal. And then of course you can see the toboggans. I personally wouldn't do the toboggan. I think it's overrated. It can be not that interesting because cars are coming and it stops for the cars, or you can get lucky and it's quite fun. But again, the queues are massive. It's unique, yes, which is why it's popular. But I've done it a few times now and I've never really found it that worth it. But if you want to do it, you can do it, and maybe that's when taking the cable car up is a good idea. But if you're following my itinerary, go watch them, take some photos, watch them go around the bend. That's quite fun to do. But then you're going to get the premier ticket. You're going to take the cable car back down into Funchal whilst everyone is coming up. So chances are you're going to have your cable car all to yourself and you're going to get incredible views over the city, over Funchal. You're going to love that, and you're going to be right back down in the center of Funchal. So what do you do next? You're probably going to be a little bit peckish now. You're going to want some lunch. So I recommend coming off the cable car, walking over to the old town and walking through the old town. Take your photos of the pretty doors that are there. They're all painted, they're very nice, but please do not eat there. Do not be tempted to eat in the old town. It's not worth it. It's just not great food. So don't do that, please. Don't make that tourist mistake. Carry on walking into the center of Funchal, and my recommendation is a very local hole-in-the-wall place called Atendinha. It starts serving food around 12 o'clock and it gets busy very, very fast. There's just a handful of tables outside with the most lovely owners. Order the fish, it's normally fresh that day. Order the daily soup. Very local experience, I would say. You're going to love it. And then Funchal is yours to explore. It's a very walkable city, Funchal, and the beautiful cobbled streets are just perfect for just walking around the little alleys, seeing what you can find. Maybe you'll find a bar, maybe you'll find a cafe. You're going to enjoy that for sure. Just walking around is a pleasure. Check out the cathedral. The inside of the cathedral is beautiful, made from wood from the island. Very, very nice cathedral. There's also parks, nice little parks that you can walk in and out of. Nice viewpoints that you'll find. It's just a nice city to walk around. Spend your time doing that, taking photography, whatever you want to do. And then you have a choice. Well, I think you have a choice because you could probably also do both. Do you want to have a nice coffee and a pastry? So I recommend somewhere called Choux. Very pretty, very nice pastries. Again, lovely owner. Or do you want a glass of wine from the Azores? Azorean white wine is fantastic. Make sure it's the white wine, but go to this place, Queijaria d'Arvor. He's lovely in there too. All of my recommendations have nice people, by the way. But go in there for the wine and go in there for the Azorean cheese. But to be honest, if you have time, do both because they're both great. If you go to Choux, you can ask for the JoeyP dessert. JoeyP dessert. I gave her a little challenge and she made a dessert for me, and it's now the JoeyP dessert in my honor. Go check that out. It's a fantastic one. And then we move on to one of the best experiences you can have in Madeira, and that's a sunset dolphin watching tour. Hopefully you'll be lucky and you'll see some whales as well, but you're almost guaranteed to see dolphins. There are so many companies which do this. I've been with Rota de Cetaceios or Magic Dolphin, both are good. I have no affiliation with them. There's many others there. Choose one that you like, choose one that looks good, and book on that. That will be your evening activity, let's say. If you don't want to do that, you'll probably have time for a proper dinner. So I recommend a place called Snack Bar Bella 5. Now, I've given you a bigger lunch knowing that you'll do a sunset tour, and then you might have like a snacky dinner. However, if you're not doing that and you want another big meal, or you just are not doing the sunset dolphin watching tour this day, then Snack Bar Bella 5, my favorite snack bar in the city of Funchal. It's local, it's rustic, it's somewhere you might get to and be like, ooh, I'm not sure if I'm going in there, but he cooks the best fish on the grill plate. And the homemade fries are also amazing. Go in there, say hi from me, and you'll have a wonderful, again, a wonderful local dinner. Before we get on to day 3, I just want to give you a note from our sponsor, who is me, JoeyP, because I have some Madeira guides that you might be interested in. I have a food guide and I have a travel guide. You can get them right here, scanning the QR code, or you can go into the description and find them in the link there. They are fantastic. The food guide, for example, has over 180 places, food and drink, that guarantees you good food. The travel guide has pins all over the island of the things to do, from hikes to viewpoints, whatever. All on your phone, makes it super easy when you're traveling around. If you're nearby somewhere and you think, oh, I want to eat something, or oh, is there a viewpoint nearby or something to do nearby, you open the maps on your phone and you've got it. So I 100% recommend that. There's an offer on for the combo if you want to buy them both. The other thing to say, and I think it's quite important, because if you don't want to hire a car, this is going to be a bit of a difficult itinerary. However, Jeep tours are available on the island. Some are good, some are not so good. You know that. Some are, mass market cheap ones, which sound good because it's a cheap price, but you're not going to have the best experience. The number 1 tour guide in Madeira, I would say, is Duarte. Madeira Green and Blue are a fantastic tour company, and you can get a discount if you quote JoeyP directly with him. Again, all of the links are in the description. All of the information is in the description. Tell him you saw the video, quote the name, and you'll get 10% off your Jeep tour, and then you can do some of these things, because the next 2 are standalone Jeep tours over the next 2 days. You're not going to want to miss these. Anyway, let's get back to it. Day 3, and this is where we get into the big hitters in Madeira, all of the postcard places, all of the places that appear on the top 10 lists, but some little tips and some little secrets to give you that unique experience. The first place is one that is on all of those lists. It's called Cabo Geral. It's a sky platform, a glass sky platform that sits 580 meters over the headland, where you can look straight down to the sea and you can look straight down the coast to Funchal. It's a spectacular view, but you have to conquer your fear of heights if you have it. I promise you it's worth it. It used to be free, but I think now costs a few euros, maybe even €5 to go and visit, but I think it's worth it. It's a place you want to get there early, so that's why it's first up. Again, I'll say it again, you need to start this early and get to these places to beat the crowds, because Madeira is busy these days. Madeira is a very popular place. That's why you're coming, right? And yeah, you don't want to be stuck around the crowds the entire time. The next place, if you're in the car or you're on the Jeep tour with Duarte, because he will stop here, is to go to the next town over, well, a few towns over, called Ribeira Brava. It's the gateway to the north of the island, and that's where we're going. But I recommend you stop and you visit a place for breakfast. You pick up some empanadas. Venezuelan empanadas you can find everywhere in Madeira. Not all of them are good, but this place is one of the best on the island, maybe even the best on the island. So make sure you stop, get the chicken, get the meat. You're going to love it. A nice little breakfast with a coffee. Then you're going to jump back in the car and drive through the center of the island, through a place called Serra de Agua. The most stunning views. Epic, epic views from this place. Just take it in. You can't really stop here. And we're going to come back later in the itinerary where you're going to have a drink at one of the bars here. But it's probably a little bit early right now. So you're just going to drive through, soak up the views, and then you're going to get to a place on the north coast of the island called São Vicente. And before you go into the town of São Vicente, you're going to come to I would say it's my top, well, it's definitely in the top 5 views of Madeira. There's a little church, you'll see it as you come in. There's a little church on top of a hill called Capella de Nossa Senhora de Fátima, something like that. But you park just below it. You walk up about 100 steps. It's not that bad. My 85-year-old grandfather did it, so I'm sure you can do it too. You get to the top and you have the most incredible views. The most incredible views. Let me tell you that. All the way down to the sea, and then all the way, almost panoramic of the mountains of São Vicente and up to the top of the island. You definitely don't want to miss that. It's not the most popular viewpoint, so you're probably going to have it to yourself, but it's one you absolutely want to stop at. After that, you're going to come back down and into the town of São Vicente. Park your car, have a little walk around, just again enjoy the views. There's a waterfall, there's a few waterfalls. The north coast is full of waterfalls, but there's waterfalls, there's big headlands, you've got the waves crashing against the rocks. There's a few little cafes and bars there. Just enjoy that town, and then we're going to start town hopping along the north coast. The next one is a famous one, Seixal, famous for its black sand beach. Definitely want to see this. Even if you're not going to spend time on the beach, you want to see the black sand beach, right? How many times do you see that? It's in the most beautiful setting, again with waterfalls around, and it's just a stunning, stunning town. It's a lava overflow, which obviously solidified into landscape, into land, into rock, and they've built this town on it. It looks amazing from your drone, but it also looks amazing when you're there. Along the route, you're going to see these little viewpoints, and you'll see this when they say Miradoro. You'll see a sign saying Miradoro. You know you can stop there and you'll have a nice viewpoint. So along the way between São Vicente and Seixal, you're going to get lots of these. So make sure you stop. You have the car, you can just pull over to the side and stop and check these views out, because they're all very pretty and they're all worth stopping for. In Seixal, if you'd like lunch, there's a place called Seixal Butcher where you can have the traditional espetada, or you can just go and find a sandwich or salad and bolo de caco. There's things you can do there for lunch. This is probably where I'd recommend having lunch. Or you can just stop off by the supermarket and grab some things there. That's another good idea. There is a viewpoint in this town. Again, I'll leave the link in the description, or you can buy my maps to find this viewpoint, but it's called something like Infinity Viewpoint. It's pretty. A guy has made it on his land. It almost perfectly frames the coastline, and it's just a very cool place. You can leave a little donation and try some of this local liquor that he's left there. Just chill. Social media hotspot, I would say, for the photos. Take your photos and then move on. You'll get the sense here that a lot of this is, one, very accessible in the car, but also you're just spending a little bit of timing in each and moving on. We're trying to hit a lot of places here, so understand the pacing of it. The next is another viewpoint. It's called Ribeira de Janela, or the place is called Ribeira de Janela, and there's a beautiful rock. And there's a car park there, and you can walk up the steps and you get this reveal to this rock that stands there majestically, poking out of the sea. Again, another viewpoint that's worth stopping at. Gets a little busy, but you'll be all right. You're there a few minutes to see it, and then you're moving on to the next place, and somewhere you have almost certainly heard of if you're researching Madeira, and that's Porto Moniz. This place is famous for its saltwater pools. This might be a time to go for a swim. So I'm going to give you two things you can do here. You can either stay in Porto Moniz and go for a swim, enjoy the saltwater pools, and take some time to, it's part of Madeira. So if you want to do that, do that. The other thing you can do, if you don't want to do that and you're feeling a little adventurous, is continue up the hill and go to a place where there's a giant swing, yes, a giant swing, and an incredible zip line. I did this myself, and it was amazing. You can pre-book it, or I think you can just turn up and say you want a ticket, but pre-booking is probably wise just to make sure. I did the zip line and it was incredible. The most amazing experience through the valley. Little sketchy, but life is about making your heart skip a beat, isn't it? So this is something I definitely recommend if you like the adrenaline boost, let's say that. And then finally, on this mega day, you're going to continue driving up into the heart of Madeira and get to the ancient forest. Now, this forest is a special, special place. There's a magical feeling when you visit the ancient forest in Funchal. If you're lucky, and I say lucky because it sounds odd, but if you're lucky, you'll have it where you're sat in the clouds and it looks murky and mystical, and it's stunning. Bring layers, because it gets cold if it's in the cloud, and you want that, trust me, because that's when it's at its best. If you're unlucky and there's no cloud and it's blue skies, it's also pretty, so don't worry. But it's somewhere you must visit. Again, a very popular place. Don't be stupid. Don't climb on the trees for photos. Don't destroy them. Don't trample on them. Just look after them. Be respectful, please, because these trees are special, and unfortunately they have been suffering from the over-tourism. That was a busy day, right? All that's left is the drive back to Funchal. It's probably around 40 minutes to an hour from here on the highways. Enjoy the drive and then find somewhere for dinner. Again, my food maps will help with that. Day 4. The thing that everyone wants to do when they visit Madeira is visit Pico do Arriero, the very peak of the island. Well, the second highest peak in the island, but it's not by much. They want to visit it for sunrise. And yes, you've guessed it. Guess what that involves? Getting up early. very early, because a lot of people make this journey and you want to get there early for the car parking. So wake up as early as you can. You're going to be leaving whilst it's dark, obviously, and then you're going to park at the very top. I hope that you've got there early enough. Park at the very top of Pico do Arriero and go and watch the sunrise. I haven't done this for years because who the hell is waking up at that time? It is a special experience. If you're lucky again, you're going to be above the clouds. So the sun is going to rise above the clouds and you're going to have a carpet of clouds. If not, again, it's still pretty, but it's one of the best experiences in Madeira. You're going to enjoy that one. What I recommend next, whilst you're there, you're going to walk back to you're going to see this big dome. You're going to walk back to this big dome and you're going to get the views, the panoramic views of Pico do Arriero and the mountains and the island. What I would say is you don't want to walk at this stage. You don't want to walk the peak-to-peak hike, the most famous hike on the island. It's going to be a bit intense, especially since you've woken up early. And it's not even open until April anyway. If you're watching this post-April, it will be open now, but do check. However, you can do a little part of that called the Stairway to Heaven. This is worth doing whilst you're here. It probably takes about 40 minutes to get there and then probably 40 minutes back. It's not that strenuous. Okay, you need a little bit of fitness, but it's not that bad. Views are breathtaking. It's worth doing for sure. You do have to pay. You have to register on the Simplifica website and pay for your ticket. And then you show your QR code at the start of the hike. There probably will be someone there. If there's no one there when you start, he'll be there when you get back and he'll ask for it, so don't be fooled by that. Don't not pay a couple of euros to get a fine of 250. That's a bit silly. And then you're going to come back down from Pico do Arriero just a little bit. You're going to see a sign saying Corral de Ferras, and you're going to turn and you're going to drive along through the middle of the island, through the mountains. It's an amazing drive, and you're going to get to a place called Corral de Ferras, which is the Nuns Valley. This place is also, it's the theme, isn't it? This place is spectacular, but it really is. The views here are incredible. It's a nice place to come for a drink. It's a nice place to come for a coffee, have something to eat maybe. You probably want it by now, right? And just soak in those views, because you are essentially in the bowl of mountains around you. It's nestled in there. It's a little bit of a hidden, it's not hidden, but you know what I mean when I say that. It's a little bit of a hidden town. And then you're going to make your way back to Funchal, and guess what? You're going to relax, because it was busy yesterday, you've woken up early, and you've got a busy day tomorrow. You're going to get back into Funchal and you're going to relax. Take your time, and then you're going to have dinner. Jump back in the car, go to the next town over to Câmara de Lobos, famous fishing village, again, very pretty, but you're going to have espetada, the meat skewers. This place for me is the best place on the island for meat skewers, the town. Go to these places and have espetada. Very, very Madeira. Espetada and milo frito, the fried cornmeal. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that one. I'm almost jealous just thinking about it. So, get a good night's sleep, and then we're on to day 5. Welcome to day 5. Today we're going to tour the east of the island and Santana with the famous triangular Madeira houses. You're going to leave Funchal in your car and you're going to drive up the different route. You're not going to take the highway, you're going to take an off the beaten path road, very pretty road actually, winding out of Funchal, but there's a viewpoint there that I want you to go to. It's called Pináculo, and it has great views over the city, especially at this time of the morning. A lot of people come here for sunset, and you can do that of course, but it's a little bit of a busy viewpoint at sunset. But in the morning, with the sun rising behind you, you have lovely views over the city. Just a nice place to stop on the way out. Makes it a bit more interesting, doesn't it? You're going to continue, and then you'll get to a place called Caniço. When you come here, you're going to go down. Google Maps will help you. You don't need to worry about these things, but you're going to come all the way down the hill, and you're going to get to Cristo Rei, which is the Jesus statue. Now, there's a little bit of renovation going on, but I still think it's worth it, because again, you have views over Funchal. You have views over the vast Atlantic, which just glistens in the sunlight. It looks so, so pretty with the sunlight. It's such a lovely color of blue. And then you also have this statue of Jesus. You don't need to fly all the way to Rio to see that. You just come to Madeira. However, once you've done that, you're going to leave, get onto the highway and drive to Mexico. I'm going to give you another viewpoint, and this one I really am going to butcher, so I'm going to read it off my notes. There's a viewpoint called Miradoro Francisco Álvarez de Nobrega. Actually, it wasn't so bad. But here, you're going to get the views and the vistas of Mexico. Mexico is a great little town. I don't recommend stopping here as part of this itinerary, but there is a beach here that you can check out if you did want to stop on the beach, but this viewpoint will give you everything you need to see. And then you're going to go to the very end of the island. However, what I would say, if you are doing this itinerary and day 5, the East and Santana tour, is on a Sunday, skip everything I've said so far. Ignore Pinaculo, ignore Mexico, and ignore Cristo Rey. Go straight to Santo de Serra Sunday Farmers Market, my favorite farmers market in Madeira. Better than the touristy one in the center of Funchal where you get ripped off for the price of fruit. Come to this one, really local experience. There's great food there. The ribs there are incredible. It's been closed for months, so do check if it's open. It should be opening anytime now. They've been renovating the roof. There's great poncha there, there's great food there, there's great fruit and veg there that you can buy. It's just a really nice place to be. Do that instead. That should be your morning itinerary if it's a Sunday and it's open. After these things, you're going to go to the end of the island, and it's called Ponta de São Lourenço. There's a few viewpoints there that you want to check out, but it's very different over here. It almost looks like you've stepped into a Martian landscape. It's in the rain shadow, so it's very dry, and it looks very arid with this like red dusty mud, red rocks as well. It looks very, very Martian, and it's just fantastic. You'll fly over this when you enter the island. You'll see it. You'll see like a little tail of Madeira. This is it. Definitely worth a stop. There's a hike here, which you can do, but that's going to take quite a long time, and it's incredibly busy. It's not one of my recommended hikes, even though it's a very nice hike. After this, you're going to continue around the island and cross back onto the north side, and you're going to get to one of my favorite little towns in Madeira called Porto da Cruz. Now you can park the car, walk around the town. It's small, so walk around the town. You're on the coast. You have views of the coast, of course. You have the rum factory here. So the famous drink poncha is made with sugarcane rum. There is a rum factory here where you can go and see where it's made. So that's great. You can even try a poncha there. You have great views of this huge headland, and that's one of my recommended hikes, by the way. I did that in another video that you can see. Or you can just chill, grab a coffee, but there is somewhere to eat here, and it has something very traditional. There's a dried skipjack tuna sandwich that you can get from a little bar called A Fragateira. Very, very local little bar, or you can get a fish soup in there, or you can just get a fresh tuna sandwich. But I recommend stopping here and having a sandwich and maybe having some of his homemade wine. He makes homemade wine, or a beer, or a coffee. You're going to like this town. You'll see what I mean when I say it's my favorite. It has a little charm to it, and I think you'll feel that too. After that, you are going to get back in the car and you're going to go to a place called Miradouro do Guindaste. Another viewpoint with a glass platform, but again with views down the north coast this time. So it's not super high. It's not like last time. There will be a little bit of fear there if you have a fear of heights, but not that much. It's only maybe 100 meters, not even that, 50 meters. But the views are great. And then finally, we're going to go back up the hill to Santana, where you see the traditional houses. These are very pretty. Find a place to park the car and have a little walk around. You can see these traditional houses, and you can even go in some of them. I think some of them do donation based. You go in and see them. This town is very famous for this. And again, you see this branding, or it's become branding, I would say. So you definitely want to see those and tick them off. It's a bit of a tick box. From here, there is a waterfall nearby. It's called Cascata de Aguague. Super hidden. Not many people come here. You will see some people here, but not many people come here. You can even bring your swimming stuff and go for a little dip. I've done it, and it was quite fun. I did it with Duarte on his tour, but I recommend stopping off at this place. And then you have a choice. You can either, if you've decided this is enough, it depends on time and how long you've taken. If this is enough, get back to Funchal and enjoy yourself at dinner. Or you can carry on going around the island and drive all the way over to São Vicente and come back through the middle of the island and cut back to Funchal. The benefit of this is you're going to stop through towns like São Jorge, Arco de São Jorge, Boaventura, Ponta Delgada. These are pretty, and there's viewpoints all along the way. It's just a very nice drive, and I really recommend it. If you've got time, even if it's mid-afternoon and you're not too tired, do it. The other benefit is you're going to cut back through Serra d'Água. You're going to see it again because it's spectacular, and you're going to be able to stop off at Taberna de Poncha for one of the best ponches on the island with an incredible view. Then get back to Funchal, rest, have dinner, and be prepared for your final day. Your final day, day 6 in Madeira. Now, I recommend having this as a hike day, because hiking in Madeira is genuinely world class. I've hiked across the island and I've done many of the standalone hikes. World class is exactly how I would describe it. But they're busy now. Jeez, are they busy. You do need to pay for them, for all of the main ones, so do that, as I said, at the Simplifica website. I'll leave it in the description. Register. You can do a weekly pass, you can do a daily pass, or you can do individual hikes. So look into that and don't be caught out by that. But I'll give you 3 that I recommend, and then I'll tell you a few places you can find more. So the Peak to Peak hike, PR1, is the hike in Madeira. It is the most famous, the most popular, the most spectacular. It's been closed for about 1.5 to 2 years because of the fires that were a few years ago and damaging it, but it's now just about to open in April 2026. So do check, and if it's open, you should seriously consider this, but it's very difficult. So it's about 6 hours, and it's point to point. So unless you want to walk back, you're going to need to organize how to get around from the other side. So there'll be taxis or a tour guide or whoever. However, you should do it, because if you can, it's the most rewarding one. The other one, which isn't so hard, but I would say right up there, is definitely in my top 3, is called Verada do Larano. It starts in Porto da Cruz, so you can almost build this in as well and have a nice meal afterwards. You can park at the bottom and walk up. It's pretty steep for the first 40 minutes, but it's rewarding. Or you can park a little bit further up and kind of get rid of most of that hill. But then it's broadly flat along the coast with, the views here are amazing. Great hike, great hike. The other one, which does need some fitness levels, a little bit technical, and it needs to be dry. It can't have rained the day before or recently, or raining that day, is the Eagle's Nest, Peña de Agua. This hike went straight in at top 3. Again, I have a full video on this hike, you can see that. Or if you'd like to see my hike across the island, I also have that video too. I think it's called Madeira's Coast to Coast Trail. So find that. If you don't want to do those and you want something easier, there are plenty of apps. Download All Trails and download Komoot. They'll have free trials. You're going to be there a week. The free trial is probably a week. Download it and there's lots of reviews on there, and you can find. My map also has lots of pinned hikes on there as well, and it has some recommended ones in the PDF that you get with it. I think I have a big list of them there too, from the famous ones to some off the beaten path ones. Hiking in Madeira is special, whether you're youthful and energetic or whether you struggle with walking, there's something for you. Balcoes, for example, is just a 20-minute hike, completely flat, starting in Ribeira Frio with nice views at the end. There's something for everyone, easy, medium, or hard, or very technical. So you're not going to go wrong there. However, after that, you deserve a dinner, and it's your final night in Madeira, so I'm going to give you some options at some of my favorite places for a slightly more, but definitely worth it dinner. There is a chef called Julio Pereira who owns a group of restaurants which I think are some of the best in Madeira. Now, thankfully, he split them into, specialities. If you like meat, big steaks, great steaks, you should go to one called Campo. If you like fish, you should go to the place called Aqua, A-K-U-A. If you like traditional Madeiran but elevated, you should go to a place called Jaque. If you like traditional Portuguese but elevated, you should go to a place called Theo's. I prefer Campo because I like the meat. My 2 favorites are Campo and Aqua. But you're not going to regret any of them. And it's just the perfect way to end, hopefully, your perfect week in Madeira. Because that's it, we made it to day 7, the day you leave Madeira. So you're gonna check out of your hotel, get the taxi, Bolt or Uber, to the airport, and you're going to leave. I hope you've had a fantastic trip. There is so much content on this channel about Madeira, so subscribe and turn the notifications on and watch as much of it as you can. I hope it's entertaining and I hope it's useful. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to buy my guides, and I'll see you guys in the next video.